Well, morning, fellow zombies. Are we sleep deprived and emotionally screwed up? Or are we emotionally deprived and sleep screwed up? It's 1:57 in the morning, West Coast time. It is the 29th of December, 2023, for Friday. An icon is leaving us, at least one of the restaurants anyway. I didn't have the I didn't give myself the chance or opportunity to go over to the place, and I wish to God I had. One of those major regrets. There's a hot dog stand called Cupid's. They used to be scattered about, but they're shrinking operations. They had one out in Van Nuys on Tyrone, right by Van Nuys, actually by Victory Boulevard. They had it there for a few decades until they had to shut down the operations, move to another location, and then deal with that area for another few more decades, and then had to shut down the operation. But for about 40 or 50 years, I think that they actually had another one right across the street from Cal State Northridge on Northridge, actually on Nordoff, right across the street from the campus. Place has been there for decades as well. They also have another one out in Canoga Park on Sherman Way, or actually on Topanga Canyon or Sherman Way, one of those two. And another place out in Simi Valley. I don't know the location of that one. A mom and pop operation expanded to multi generational, and they made the best hot dogs in Chile, according to a lot of people. But because of property management being handed over to another person or being sold to another person in Northridge, the last day is going to be the 30th of December, tomorrow. An icon of food places disappearing left and right, mom and pops. Some operations turned into a bigger one. In-N-Out Burger, they're still expanding slowly but surely. Used to dominate the western region until they're expanding out eastward now. When you come to California or come to Southern California and want the experience, it's like every so often they would have burger places all over. Carl's Jr. is still out there and still chugging away. McDonald's, well, that's multinational. Blech. You talked about Southern California hamburger. That was the In-N-Out burger right there. They even have iconic shots where aircraft go right above the restaurant because they're in the flight path. Cupid's was basically a valley special. You can get the chili and you can get the hot dogs through the mail order. Cost you a pretty penny, but I understand it's pretty worth it because especially the chili. When you get it, it's just you're getting the hot dogs and you're getting the chili online. Cupids.com. And my brother and I had frequented the place a long time ago. I don't go there because distance and it's difficult getting from Roseman out there, especially when you're depending upon public transportation. It's timing sucks. So is transportation. Would it be a lot worth the wait just to getting a taste of it? If I could afford it on the next paycheck, and if they're still operating the Simi Valley and Canoga Park, they're not in danger yet of shutting down, I think I would order the stuff through the mail. I know it's just a hot dog stand, but for a lot of people, it's memories. It's memories and it's people over there. That way, they're saying goodbye this weekend for our tradition. The saying goodbye to the people that have been employed in this particular operation for decades. And it's hard as hell to deal with that one. Because I'm not quite sure if I'm able to deal with it or not. Otherwise, I'd be able to get over there and just snack it up. I mean, I can get the hot dog buns. I can get the rest of the stuff. The chili, no, the onions and the mustard and the buns. It's the chili and how they cook their dogs is a different story altogether. The snap of the casing as you're biting into the thing. It's still. It beats getting the hot dogs and chili from the store. It's the experience that you're paying for. Said before, my brother and I, throughout our years living in the San Fernando Valley, we would go to different places left and right. Mexican places, uh, Chinese food places, hot dog places. We've also been to sandwich shops. I can't tell you, the San Fernando Valley had been changing throughout our lifetime, and we didn't even realize it or wasn't paying attention to it until we see these mom and pops go out. Property management shuts them down, or they move to different places, or they just disappear altogether. And that's what hurts sometimes. I'll see the postings on Facebook all the time. This place going off, this place going off, this place going off. Do you remember this? Do you remember this? I remember a lot of places out there. Some of the names just escape me. But yeah, I remember eating different places left and right. If I wanted Mexican food, there were about a half a dozen places in the valley all through my lifetime I could remember eating. One time it was Rusty's Hacienda somewhere in Lancashire, in North Hollywood. Decades ago, I thought it was cool Mexican food. Till there would have been a few other places I've been to that almost taste the same. They go for the same sauce, the same chili, the same salsa, same consistency. Ernie's, been to. Did it a few times, but Rusty's was the one back in the 70s. For several years, my family would go to. As for hot dogs, in the adult stage, yeah, my brother and I, when we were still out there before we moved out here with my out to Antelope Valley. Cupid's was one of the places my brother and I would go for a quick snack. If we had a hankering for the dog, we had a hankering for the dog. The last time we had been out in the San Fernando Valley before we killed our car, well after Mom passed away, it was back in 2013. And we traveled. 13 and 14. 2013 and 14. We'd been through the valley. Just checking places and snacking at places. So that's been a long while. It's been well over a decade. And yes, I will miss Cupid's. There's a few other places I've missed too. Oh, there's Casa Grande? Casa Vega? There was also Mexican places that actually had karaoke. El Torito. Woodland Hills was the place Dave and I went for karaoke quite a number of times. Liked the food. Always had the They always had the taco bar. They would make the tacos right there. Get the tortillas made fresh. I mean, they get out the masa, they get out the liquids, they make the stuff right there in the bar, and they would have a taco bar place right there. We didn't have the meat already taken care of in the in our dining room area, back kitchen actually. Had the cilantro and the onions chopped up, ready to rock and roll. And when they actually had the flour tortillas made, not the flour tortillas, but the mazo made, my brother and I would be getting about a dozen each. We'd be eating and waiting to go for karaoke. I miss that. I miss that a great deal. Experiences that still stick with me. They still stick with me. Going over to the Wiener Schnitzel is like going over to another hot dog place commercially and just ordering the corn dog all the time. We did that in our youth. There was another shop that got bought up, I think, by another restaurant chain called Pup and Taco. Now, every so often, I'd come across this one in the Facebook feeds. Do you remember this place? Remember when you were here? Did you ever remember this place? Several other classic uh, do you remember when places on the Facebook. And yeah, there was a Pop and Taco place out by our home out in North Hollywood along Van Owen, and it was on Coldwater. It was on the corner. If I'm not mistaken, it was on the southwest corner. Caddy corner from across the street where there's Winchell's with donuts. Across the street on the opposite end of shopping area. We had Market Basket on the north end, northwest, and we had several shops. We had cleaners, we had laundrymen, we had Kenyon Drug Pharmacy. During the time, we knew the pharmacists and the guys working behind the counters. Little knickknacks here and there, a little candy pilfering or something like that. But we get our drugs over there, the pharmaceuticals, and take some time for the stuff to wait. So my brother and I would be hanging about. Missed that place. It was home. Market Basket would be the place that they always kept an eye on the brothers. Oh no, Marianne's bringing her kids along. Yeah, basically it was the Rat Pack. The boys of Marianne had a bad reputation at one time. Well, especially me anyway. Well, I wasn't exactly a nice little boy when I was growing up anyway. Especially when you got in a store and I'd had to be, I want my. Oh my God, I'd drive my mother insane. I would drive her insane. One time, she couldn't control it. Now, there's nothing you can do about this. This has happened about over 50 plus years ago. So don't start getting into the legal crap on this one. But at one time, she got sick and tired of it that she threatened to leave me there in the shopping cart while I'm screaming my head off. And she'd walk around to the other side and just, oh man. You're all right, Mrs. Shaw. He's at it again. What's with him? He's being a brat. I'm punishing him for being a brat. Back in those days, I hate to say this, but there had been times you actually saw the parents actually take control of the kids where they're beating the crap out of them in the ass. One time. Mostly it'd be at home. If Ma thought David was misbehaving, he'd go, bye, bud. I had to learn control. I had to learn not to be a brat. And they had to be strict things going on. But she was trying to keep me under control from being a royal brat and being a royal pain in the ass. I mean, I thought, reading the strips of Calvin and Hobbes was bad enough because I'm reminded of myself almost just as bad and just as bratty. Market Basket was the place you'd go for groceries. You didn't go for hearing Marianne and her sons go nuts. But David didn't go nuts all that time. I mean, he was a little bit more respectable on sometimes, and kept trying to tell me, "Will you knock it off? I'm gonna knock you out when you get home." I had to learn the hard way. I missed it when we moved out of the area because I missed Market Basket. Growing up a little bit older, I grew out of the brattiness, and my brother and I really started to do helping out with mom and the shopping over there. Dave was collecting bottles and cans in areas and bringing the bottles back for recycling. He'd get himself a free soda that way. But as I said before, right across the street, there was Pop and Taco. You want tacos? You want hot dogs? You want chili burgers? You want hamburgers? You want cheeseburgers? You want chili cheese dogs? This was the place to go. If you wanted a quick snack, that was a quick snack. If you wanted dinner, that was dinner. It was a long way of trying to get over to McDonald's and get the food back home and eat it cold. But if you wanted hot dogs, you'd go over to the Pop and Taco and get them. Or would get cold ribs coming back home, even if they are in foil. We walked a long distance trying to get dinner. There was a Kristen Pitts when they had it one on what the hell was it, Victory in Fulton, in a shopping center, northeast corner, right next to a liquor store. During that time, I think we ate once in the restaurant. The rest of the time, we just brought dinner home. We picked it up and brought it home. We walked it home. And cold fries, but good ribs and bread. One time in there was like straw all over the place. Make the order outside, go inside, pick up the order. There was straw. There was not straw, wood shavings all over the place. Royal Fire Hazard. They got nailed by the fire. Uh, they didn't get their place torched, but they did have fire inspectors coming in there checking out the place, and they had to clean it up. Regulations were changing concerning about safety and how restaurants could actually operate their buildings and their facilities. They had to make sure that there was no burnables on the ground. One good spark and oof. Too many places gone up that way. Yeah, there was even pizzerias like that too. There was numero unos at one time. My brother and I would go in there one time just to get some deep dish. I mean, we liked numero unos. More fond of Pizza Hut. Shakey's better. Shakey's didn't have the wood shavings. Numero unos did at the time. I remember those. There was a numero unos at one time along Ventura Boulevard, somewhere out in Encino or Sherman Oaks area. No, no, no. What the hell was it? Tarzana? There was somewhere along between Encino, Tarzana, and Sherman Oaks. Somewhere in there, there was a Pizza Hut. There was a numero unos that we went in there. Even Ma had taken us. Actually, we had taken Ma over there one time for pizza. Most of the time, we would just go over to Shakey's in Laurel Canyon. and we'd have the pizza over there because it was a family restaurant. You'd see the pizza being made, and then you'd see it come out of the oven, and then it was just something. It was just something. The end of the year, each time I'm reminded of how much I miss places that shut down and also disappear off the map. Not just food places, markets, neighborhoods change, corporate box stores come and go, malls changing or closing up. That's why I keep on the feeds all the time just to see what the hell was going on. Been away from the San Fernando Valley far too damn long that I have an issue. I have an issue with time. I have an issue with change. The older I get, the more I want things set, the more things I don't want changed. I think that that's the generational outlook these days. The youth is dynamic. The youth wants. But they're also seeing how this change is happening. Of course, don't make a big deal about it one way or another. But for me, I'm seeing how things are changing in my lifetime that I don't like change. I don't. Trying to understand why. Business, climate's changing. Give me one second. Need a pillow for the back. And yeah, it hurts. It hurts when I see different places changing, different corporations changing formats, or the franchisees changing their restaurant style one way or another. There have been steakhouses that almost one primary steakhouse we went to from time to time to eat out. There are also one family restaurant that disappeared already. Marie Callender's. I always loved eating their pot pies. Ma and Dad would go for the scampi, would go for the fettuccine with the shrimp on it. Be a bit garlicky. But we would go to places like Marie Callender's also for the pies as well during the holiday seasons. And to see them disappearing, it's not the same when you go to the supermarket and you see their generic stuff over there. It's not the same. If I had a working oven or a working microwave, maybe I'd be able to eat half the stuff or enjoy it. How do you enjoy a good hot dog when when you see these stands disappear? Hell, it broke my heart when Dave and I saw Poppin' Tacos bought out by another corporation and made history. All these individual places became Taco Bells. Now, Dave and I had eaten Taco Bell before, well before we got over here to Roseman, California. Taco Bell's out in San Fernando Valley, all the damn place. There was also other places we went to, Holiday Burgers, but there was also there was another burger joint somewhere along Reseda Boulevard. That when my family was living out in Reseda, we would go to this burger place a lot. Always loved the mushroom cheeseburgers with the bacon on it. Ooh, that was a big ass burger, and there goes the stomach right there. Places that we knew how to go to. Fluky's. Fluky's was known throughout the Southland. Orange, yellow, and black stripe buildings, pastrami sandwiches, corned beefs. The hamburgers, the hot dogs, the stuff that they would come out. One time we were living on Devonshire and Woodley area. Walking distance. We had Flukies. We would have that for lunch or dinner sometimes. Ma wasn't going to fix anything. Flukies. Dave loved the pastrami sandwiches. They made them just right for him. Yeah, we tried Subway sandwiches. We tried other Subway places. Um, different sandwich shops in our lifetime. These these times we get into the end of the year, so I'm usually thinking about remember when, because as a youth I didn't do the remember whens. As I'm getting older right now, I'm going to be turning 58 next month. My God. And I'm remembering all the other places gone forever that I'll never go into ever again or ever have the opportunity to get back into. And it kind of sucks. I don't know what I'm going to be doing for next month, though, to tell you the truth. Besides trying to survive another semester at college, I'll be regretting some of the places I've missed going into. I really do. Gone forever they are, except in memories and in taste buds. Cupid's will still be there because they still have a few restaurants left. And if I'm going to have to, I'll order the food online. It'll cost me a pretty penny for what was it, 18 hot dogs, long ass ones, and then it's the chili. It's the chili. Packet of dry ice and over here. There's other online places I'd been that still close up shop every so often, one place or another place, but they still have the online operations at the time. Honey baked ham. During the holiday seasons, such as Easter, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, the major ones. Those are the ones I'm usually getting more flyers of saying ordering our food. And I'm still okay. Potato salad, yeah. Every Easter is ordering ham again. But during these days, if I was going to be ordering the ham from them, what I would be ordering is just part of the ham and cheese platter that they got. I tell you, I'm feeling old when I start talking about things like this. Other restaurants out there that I used to maybe eat at once in a great while, but I'd use them as landmarkers. A place called Lulu's out in the San Fernando Valley. A place called Nancy's, another place that I'd eat at. So it's patty meals or grilled cheeses. You traverse one place or another, or even Bob's Big Boy. Very few of those restaurants are left in the Southland. There's like maybe one or two out here in the San Fernando Valley somewhere. Bob's Big Boy. The damn place has been out there since what, the 50s or 60s? Used to be all over, and now they shrunk it up a bit. They have the signature Bob's Big Boy burger. And if you were going into this particular place out in Toluca Lake, I'm trying to remember where I saw this one. It's not either on Moore Park. Uh, but out at Toluca Lake, It's along a major corridor. We had another restaurant called Patty's. That's a marvelous place to eat at. Little places like these have history. They have memories in them. Besides pictures posting up, yet feel the memories. There was another Oriental. You get appetizers and you get your drinks, called the Formosa Cafe. That was out in West Hollywood, Santa Monica Boulevard and La Brea area. They'd be hiding out in their area. A lot of celebrities went to this place because it was a Hollywood hangout. That shut down and they got brought back into operation in life again. Somewhat different changes in there, but they had to adapt during the times. When my mother was working out in that area back in the 80s, she was working at a company called West on Letters as the accountant controller over there. Some of the staff would go over to Formosa for drinks after work and appetizers. You could fill up on the appetizers and call it dinner right there. And you'd see the pictures of former stars in their glory from the 20s all the way through the current times. They had autographed pictures all over the place that would tell stories of this person sitting here, or that person sitting there, or that person sitting there. Yeah, kind of makes me really feel old when I start talking about places like that. Yeah, I guess I'm on going through the memories right now as it is. So, do another one if I have to.